Welcome to the Shea Mouth Lounge, episode number, what is it?
247.
He just said.
247. Look, man, I literally just woke up, and Addie, before you came on here, Addie, for 30 minutes, told me about Vocaloids, and so I'm just like, oh, kill me, please.
Are those the things from Animal Crossing?
I will commit suicide by incompetent podcasting. All right. Yeah. It's podcast. Pink.
Yeah.
You got anything coming out on your channel?
No.
Addie. Okay, Addie, you got anything coming out on your channel?
No, I was sick for the last week, so everything that I've tried working on kind of got put on hold until I can actually speak without you hearing my nose being blocked. And yeah, so yeah, I'm still gonna have to send the lines for the fighting games video to one of y'all. I'll probably send it to W because Pink has nothing to do with fighting games or doesn't want to do much with fighting games, so.
Just shoot the lines on over at some point and I can record them.
Alright, yeah. I've also started writing the second episode because, as I've said, I've planned out 2 episodes, which is motion inputs and notation. Because those are, motion inputs seems confusing to people. Notation is confusing, just in general. So,
Yeah.
The most fun part of writing the notation script, and the reason it's half done instead of completely done, is that I had to remember combos off the top of my head without having played Street Fighter V or Mortal Kombat X in the past half a year. So, so I'm just like, okay, so let's try to remember every single button press in this combo that came up for Ermac. It came up with for Ermac 2 years ago. And then try to notate it in this video. And then the best part is I'm gonna have to put a disclaimer on screen to be like, hey, if I thought these combos were exemplary, I would make a combo med, not a fucking video explaining what notations are. So these are just examples, so people know how the notations convey the movement.
Well, if you get any comments you don't like on the YouTube video, you can just delete them.
That's true.
Alternatively, you can just turn off comments altogether.
Yeah, that worked for
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm working on those. I also started working on the animation thing that I talked about last week. Maybe the week before, I forget. I got some of the materials for it. I still need. Bless you. I still need a couple of pictures, and I've also decided to make it an animatic instead of a full animation because that saves me time and effort, and means that it will actually come out in this century. So yeah, that's all the stuff I'm working on. Oh yeah, also because of my TV stuff, I'm just saying fuck it. And I moved my console view to my small monitor, which means that I won't be able to see things as easily. But it also means that the view won't start wiggling around randomly. And I can afford to not see how many frames are dropped immediately instead of just seeing that they have dropped, which is the more important information there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am planning on doing a playthrough of Luminous Avenger X Gunvolt game. I forgot the actual title of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm planning on doing that. I need to finish up that not Dead by Daylight, the other one, Last of Us. Yeah, that one. But I don't know when that will happen because there's also Sly coming up in 2 days, and I haven't played Sly at all. So I also wanted to, if Sly Cooper is available in Europe, then I will probably start a playthrough of all of that series because whatever. I feel like it.
Yeah.
So I have
Yeah.
I have a lot of shit planned, and nothing actually getting worked on really. is the end result. But yeah, I've also thought about various things like instead of just getting into a series immediately, just doing like a couple of art streams where I just make a thumbnail for the series first or stuff like that, because it feels like it could be fun. But the problem with those things is that like I can't speak when I'm alone for longer than an hour, and art usually takes about 4-5 more. So
Mhm.
so it's one of those things where like I'd have to figure out like there would either have to be enough engagement from people watching, which probably no one will watch it, or I would have to figure out other ways to make it so I have shit to talk about, which I generally don't. So I have to figure that out before I actually start doing that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's my channels.
All right. On my own, yeah, I've definitely got at least one video planned. I'd like to get some more in. It'll depend on how my week goes. Been pretty busy the last few weeks, as you can probably tell by how little I've been popping in for these recordings. But we'll see.
All right, and as for the group channel, we have Spider-Man on Monday. Who the Tunk?
Wow.
Also, I believe one more episode of Multiverse is the last one that we recorded thus far. Same can be said for Stray. And I believe also an episode of...
Have we not finished Stray?
No. No, there's an hour of Stray left. And
That's right. We never went back and finished it. No.
Yeah. So yeah. Those stuff I think Assassin's Creed is coming out this week, because Katamari came out last week. So yeah, and that might be it. I think so. So yeah, Pink.
All
your
right.
week.
All right. So my phenomenally unproductive week, I did very, very little, but I did get around to watching Thor Ragnarok. Ragnarok, pardon me, the latest one, Love and Thunder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I concur with what Alex said last week or the week before. I don't remember what year we're in. Not as bad as everyone made it out to be, but I don't think it was particularly well done. I had a lot of issues with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it felt like the movie didn't even start until like 30 minutes in, which is kind of lame. And then, yeah, I thought the pacing, I was not a fan of the pacing whatsoever. I thought it was pretty much all over the place and never really in ever a good place to begin with. So yeah, pacing I thought was pretty bad, and I definitely concur with the humor. I'm not a fan of Taika Waititi's directing of the humor. It feels like whoever wrote it, which I believe was Taika Waititi and somebody else, but it might have just been Taika by himself. It feels like whoever was in charge of writing the movie, they wrote with like an audience of 2 or 3 people in mind. So it feels like we're watching a bunch of inside jokes that we don't understand, or a lot of the other major jokes. They don't feel particularly funny, and they feel like something you'd see in a YouTube parody of Thor. And yeah, I thought the humor in it was probably the weakest aspect of it all. And it's not a particularly strong movie in and of itself, so that's saying something.
It's again, because it's Taika Waititi, though, there are some strong moments.
Yes,
of course, it's Taika Waititi.
I loved every serious moment with Thor and Jane, but like the rest of the movie, I found it rather lacking.
Yeah. How did you feel about gore?
Oh, here's a funny thing I'll note here. Every time somebody mentions Gore or Korg, I mix those two up and never understand what's going on
That's
until
fair.
I remember 10 minutes later.
Are you talking about Thor, Gore, or Korg?
Yeah. So when you asked me about Gore, my brain literally defaulted to Korg, and I was like, oh, I hate Korg. I was so happy when he died, but then he didn't, and I was sad. But I actually really enjoyed Gore for the most part. I thought, what's his name? Christian Bale?
Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale. I thought he did a very good job with him. He was a very entertaining villain with what felt like a very limited amount of screen time that he actually got. He's got, yeah, he's in the opening scene. He's got a scene somewhere 40 minutes in, I want to say, with kids where he's spooking them, and it's hilarious. And then he's got the end. So, with what limited amount of time he had, I thought he did very, very good. But aside from that, unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot of appearance in the film on a whole.
So the movie does have two big moments that I can think of, though, where it's like, hang on, this logic doesn't work. Right?
Yeah.
So that first one is, so Thor can just give his powers to other people like that?
Yeah.
That one I almost kind of like could say like, well, no, that's a power of Zeus's thunderbolt. But they don't address it as being a power of Zeus's thunderbolt. It seems like something Thor can just do.
I think it's something Thor can just do now that well, I presume he has the power of the Allfather, but they never really touch on that or elaborate on that. It's just kind of something you have to piece together in your head. So maybe that's what it is, maybe not. I'm sure Wild Knight would love that we're coming to the defense or trying to draw conclusions from a story that doesn't give us any concrete details, but what else are we going to do?
Yeah, this is that. Well, if Ted were here, he'd have already, like, the moment the word Taika Waititi left any of our mouths, Ted would have just went some level of, look, I love Ted. 10 years ago, something that I liked about him was that he didn't, when he disliked somebody, he didn't jump to, I hope they get fucking fucked to death with a cactus in front of their own family for the next 10 years until they die. Modern Ted would do that. He stopped caring, and so yeah, that the other logic issue I gotta say so Eternity's never come up before. Has no one
and
tried
probably
this
never
before?
will again. And what really drew me off is that is it Stormbreaker specifically that they need to open the gate? Because if so, how did anyone know of Eternity before Stormbreaker was forged? I really didn't understand that aspect of of it. Hello, cat.
Well, dare I suggest that perhaps Taika Waititi, when he had this idea in his head, did not really intend for Stormbreaker to be a thing, since a big part of the focus of Ragnarok was Thor doesn't need a hammer.
Right, true.
Oh boy, yeah. Which again, I want to say, I accidentally said this to Soon before he had watched the movie, so I actually spoiled the fuck out of the movie for him.
Yeah.
But the ending of this, in a lot of ways, feels a lot like Taika trying as hard as he can to double down on an ending that the next movie can't ignore. Right?
Right.
Because it's hard to deny that Infinity War goes pretty hard on trying to turn back everything Ragnarok did, right?
Yes.
Thor lost his eye.
New eye. Straight
new eye.
90 seconds
new
in,
hammer. Yeah.
Yep.
Loki is gone again. Oh, man. So, yeah, Love and Thunder very much ends with a lot of very serious changes for a lot of characters.
Indeed.
Yeah, if they want to include Thor in the next Avengers movie, they'd be pretty hard pressed to ignore these.
It's like he's a dad now. It's crazy. Probably not
Yeah.
how he was expecting to have a kid with Jane, but those are the cards he was dealt.
Well, based on the post-credits scene, I think it's pretty safe to say that Jane will, like, I think when the ending says Thor will return, like, I get that, of course, Chris Hemsworth Thor, but I think it's also implying Jane Foster Thor will return, right?
Yeah, that's what I took away from it as well.
Because she dies in the comics, doesn't she? And she just comes back as Valkyrie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, speaking of Valkyrie, she was just kind of there in this movie, wasn't she?
Yeah, that was disappointing because
that was entirely
she was so
we don't
fun
know
in Ragnarok. Yeah, why they kind of put her on the back line?
Well, it comes to be a certain point where it's just like, she's the alcoholic. Okay, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you have anything else in particular to say about the movie?
Not really. Nothing comes to mind. No. I thought it was solid. I thought it won't hold up to a standard if you compare it to the better Marvel movies, but it's not probably as bad as like Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind watching it again. But also I feel like it as I was watching it to me, like, nothing really felt impactful in any way. Nothing feels like, aside from the ending, which completely changes the status quo of the characters and whatnot.
Yeah.
Just watching the film start to finish, it kind of feels like, oh, this is rather uneventful, and the climax of the film feels like a non-climax at all. Kind of like Shang-Chi, which I didn't like the finale of that film either. Has there been a Marvel film where I've liked the finale post Endgame? I wonder. Spider-Man, obviously.
Spider-Man, yeah.
The Spoder-Man. Spoider-Man.
Does whatever a Spoder can.
What is a Spoder? Well, yeah, I didn't regret watching it. I don't think it was nearly as bad as everyone else was making it out to be. It's just not particularly good.
Yeah.
That's really all I have to say on Love and Thunder.
All right.
I think that's outside of watching the X-Men. Hi there, Cat. X-Men animated series on Disney Plus. I don't think I did anything else this week because I've still not been able to catch up on She-Hulk, and I've not been able to catch up on Cobra Kai. I did play some Plants vs Zombies with Addie early this week, and then that got cut short because somebody busted into my room and was like, "Hey, people are coming over and they need to access this corner of your room to fix the flooring." And I'm like, "Okay, fine." So I had to end it with Addie, and then they came, they went, they didn't need to access the part of the floor. I could have recorded for another 3.5 hours, would have been fine. But no, the dream was killed.
They killed your dreams dead.
The Plants vs. Zombies recording was funny because shit was acting up on my end because I was trying to watch Pink's stream on my big monitor so I can tell what's what. It was also freaking out, so that meant that sometimes I didn't get to see Pink's game. So after a while, Pink just said enough funny shit that I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna start working on a thumbnail while we're recording. So what I did is I would do like 3 or 4 strokes in the sketch, and then I would watch Pink's gameplay, and then just try and pay as much attention to the gameplay as I can while also sketching. which worked out fine. Like I could pay attention to most of it, I'd say.
Yeah. It's like, you don't really have to pay attention all the time to that game. It's just for each big wave, the middle wave and then the final wave, that's when you really got to pay attention. But other than that, it's just casual gardening.
Yeah, and which was later proven by Nintendo. But yeah, so this is the thumbnail that we got out of it, or at least the work in progress of it. But whatever, it's technically finished. Think I warned you.
I'm trying to turn on my computer and access the Discord. It's hard to do with the cat on top of me. It's loading. It's loading. Why is it loading so long? Yes!
I also made the actual thumbnail version because this is the full art, and this would be the actual thumbnail.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Give me a second.
All right. I don't know how I feel about the reflection of the light on your hair, Pink.
Holy shit, Addy!
What?
You're getting real fucking good at this.
Oh, thank you. Oh, oh, thank you. My favorite part of this whole thing is that
lighting. Oh my god!
I actually did not look at reference images for the plants. I looked at the reference images of the plants long enough that I looked at reference images of the plants in saying that since I was watching the game, I saw the sprites in the game, but like past that, that was only for the sketching. Past that, I did everything from memory. But yeah, also, do you recognize the pose? Did I actually nail it?
100%. Yes, I was actually about to say he almost looks like proper Dark Souls fan art, like proper. It's like a perfect version of the pose.
Thank you.
The angles.
Yeah,
the angles. Hang on. There's one last. Oh, you even got the palms facing outward. Okay, it's perfect.
Yeah, I was going to say, I nearly got fucked up. The poses were also one of the things that I looked up the reference for at the end, because I was like, to ping during the recording, I'll probably call it into the video. I was like, I can just do the praise the sun pose from memory because I've seen the meme so much. So I drew it, and I drew the meme pose, which is different to the actual pose, because the actual pose has the palms straight or whatever, like it's facing outwards but not too much. The hands are still straight along the arm. Meanwhile, the meme has them facing the sky.
Yeah, it's palms facing outward in the game. I guess people do it in the meme just because it's kind of like he's almost making a football goal for the sun, right?
Yeah. Like that's how I did it. Like I did it very exaggerated how much he points his palms out is, I guess, the best way I can put it. When I looked up images of the guy, his palms were looking more towards the ground than they were the sky,
Yeah.
So I had to fix that. But otherwise, I did the pose from memory, so that was funny. Also, like I warned Pink that I'm gonna have to draw Spittle, and I did. It's not Sonic levels of Spittle. It's not Sonic levels of Spittle, but hey, there's no tongue. I made up for it in another way though, because apparently, and this was something I noticed during the game. I don't know why, but in the in-game sprite, the flycatcher plant or whatever, I wanted to call it the war plant because that's what Pink and I called it during the recording. But
Christ,
yeah, like I don't know why, but they defined the inner mouth in the game. And I was like, okay, that's fucking horrible. I have to do it. Like I wasn't going to originally, But then I saw that the in-game sprite has it, and I was like, okay, I have to be, I have to replicate that because it's in the in-game sprite. But yeah. Pink, your week. This is still your week, by the way.
This is still my week. No, nothing else to say about Plants vs Zombies, and nothing else that occurred in my week. I don't believe.
All right. I guess I'll continue with with other drawings because I made a couple. I was literally 3. But yeah.
That's
So
3 more than I've done.
then this was a thing that I started up yesterday and then finished today. It took me 2 days, but yeah, as I've said, I'm gonna try and start a playthrough of Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger X. There we go. I remember the title of the game. But I like drawing thumbnails sometimes because sometimes like a character's design is interesting or whatever. Right? There's a funny joke in the video that I want to put on screen or whatever. And oh yeah, by the way, I didn't tell you. Technically, I'm not going to art school yet. We made the decision to wait a year so I can build up a portfolio that I can actually like show to people. And then also to let me learn how to like do backgrounds because that's a part that I was lacking in, or I am lacking in my opinion. And I found out the weirdest fucking thing. Character art, I can draw it. I can draw character art fine. I can't like paint characters. Backgrounds, I can't draw backgrounds at all. I can only paint them. Figure that shit out. So here's the Gunvolt whatever thumbnail, yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know how I feel about it in the end. I feel like it's a bit too like ragged, the edges, some of the edges are and stuff like that, and I probably could have done better with the shading on the buildings. Also that moon, that it is not it's an X shape. It's not circular.
It's also satanic.
But yeah. But that's fine. That's normal.
Satanus, Beelzebub.
But yeah, like it lends this weird ass fucking art style where my own art doesn't blend with my own art. These were created at the same time. And then, yet they look like I tried like taking someone else's painting and put my character on it, or the other way around. I'm not sure. What do you feel about the background here? Because like I don't know.
I quite like it.
I think it looks good to me.
All right, thank you. Because yeah, I wasn't sure if it's like too what's the word I'm looking for? Shit, I don't remember. Like I don't know. Clash. There we go. I don't know. I didn't know if the two halves clashed too much between the actual like line arted character art and the backgrounds.
Ah.
My favorite bits, or it ended up being the red like lightning bolts or whatever the fuck, like the dark hollow coursing through me. Actually turned out pretty nice. Like surprisingly so. And then one thing that I find funny in my art that probably won't change going forward because it's funny to me is how do you remember when we drew Zenyatta? I was like, just give him fucking just draw him pieces or apples of Eden, because that's pretty much what his balls are.
Yeah.
So that's become this thing where the design I made for Zenyatta's balls are the same design that I make for the apples of Eden. And basically, if you look into the background, there's 2 of those. Because in the game, the character is followed by this like, I don't even know what to call the shape, but whatever. It's like a tube that's a robot that can turn into a different looking robot, and also these balls that deflect enemy bullets. And so for the robot, I figured, well, usually, like, if we're doing a playthrough for this channel, this is when I go, okay, so I'm gonna put one of your faces there, whoever is doing the series with me, and then just be done with it. But since I'm gonna be doing this alone, I couldn't do that. So I had to go with my favorite child Digimon. I went with Gaomon, because who am I gonna fucking put there? Akuma? you know, at least
Why not?
But he's hard to draw. He's one big nose. Genuinely, his hair is very hard to draw, at least for me. Like the redesign for SF6's DLC was a godsend, because it's a lot easier to draw his, like, bless you. It's a lot easier to draw his one like strand of hair that's speaking out, and then just the small stuff with how his scalp connects to the hair and shit like that. Like, it's a lot easier to draw that than the spiky stuff that he used to have. So that's how I got proficient at drawing Akuma. They had to redesign him for me to actually get good at it. But hey. I was also going to make the background have a 10 symbol. Like, I was going to draw another cloud to obscure the moon and just make it so the light shines through in a 10 symbol. But I was lazy, because I looked at this, and I went, the background is good enough. Because I was dumb, and I painted all of the background on one layer.
No.
Yeah. Like, all of the any part of this that you're looking at where it looks like, it looks like the layers are good. I actually had to do that like if I were painting an analog, because I painted everything on one layer. Pretty much. Like, the characters are on a different layer, because that's how I do character, or that's how I do line art and stuff like that. But, like, I don't know what it is with painting where I can't cut it up into layers, because it looks weird. I guess it's a thing of, like, if I'm doing it like this, then it behaves like normal paint, which I don't know how to paint IRL technically, or I haven't done it since I've been like 6. So my real life painting skills are not good, probably, but I know enough about the theory of how you use painting to make landscapes and stuff like that, to fucking apply it to shit like this and just make it work with color mixing and stuff like that. It's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how, or if I will ever be able to make the switch to painting characters as well, because the most of the art that I see that I'm like really amazed by is painted or heavily stylized line art, and I can, like, I'm not good at stylizing my line art, and I don't know how to paint characters, so I have two things to go towards, and neither of which I will reach, probably. I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt.
I mean, you've already made massive improvement just in the time that I've been seeing you, so it's not actually out of reach. You're just playing Mr. Humble there, aren't you? Well, I can see through it.
I mean, I could probably.
You can't hide from me.
I could probably reach it if I got back into drawing, like, a picture every day or something like that, which I used to do. But the problem with that is that I run out of ideas very fast, as in, like, in a day. Because usually...
That's why you steal ideas.
That's true. But who do I steal them from?
Your favorite things.
I don't know what
Here's
I like.
a Jim Cornette quote for it. Here's a Jim Cornette quote for you. If you steal everything from one thing, you're a plagiarist. If you steal a little bit from everything, you're well researched.
Nice. True. But yeah, the one thing that I want to point out about this drawing before I move on is I'm kind of proud of it, how the gun turned out, considering I didn't look at a fucking reference. Like it looks similar, like with all of this shit. It looks similar to what the actual character wears, while not being the same because I didn't look at reference because I was lazy. But let me get a picture of him. Like, also, another problem is that this character gets redesigned for every fucking game. There is no like singular outfit that he wears, so it's hard to pinpoint down. Hey, I want this part because that will convey that I'm trying to be to wear this character's clothes.
Yeah.
So like this, here's the design that I used for that I remembered for the clothes. And then let me see if I can find the gun. Because the gun is from the game. But he has a different gun in every game, apparently. Bloody hell. Okay, oh, I found it. Just in the nick of time. So, and the gun from this. Apparently it only has 3 specs instead of 6, but whatever.
That's an anime.
Yeah. So considering I did my take on both of these designs from memory, I think I did pretty nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also like how I figured this out while drawing it, but I accidentally I accidentally drew myself Shadow the Hedgehog shoes, which was not the it's not what I was trying to go for, but whatever, that's what happened. But anyway, so let's see my week. Well, I finished Assassin's Creed Valhalla again.
Again?
Yeah, they had a free weekend like 2 or 3 months ago, maybe more, and
I remember this.
The free weekend ran for 4 days. In those 4 days, I beat the game.
Impressive.
And I was like, okay, nice. I was like, okay, nice. I don't have to buy the game anymore. and
then it was given.
Yeah, and then Sony partnered with Ubisoft to have all of the Assassin's Creeds on their service, except for one, because fuck one.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Like, I wish that they would add it to at least like the PS3 emulation thing, because Ubisoft already does that with or whatever, Ubisoft Plus or whatever they call it. I forget. Like they already give you like an emulated version of Assassin's Creed 1 on PC or something like that. I forget. So like why can't we get the PS3 version of Assassin's Creed 1? I just want to be able to record all of the series. I need it for footage. But yeah, so yeah, for the longest time I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'll play Valhalla again, because whatever, it was alright. I liked it more than I liked Odyssey, and technically I liked it more than I did Origins, because Odyssey made me dislike Origins retroactively. Like that's still the only game that has happened with. Odyssey is the only game that has made me dislike its predecessor in retrospect. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I played other games and stuff like that, and I was like, you know what, I'm kind of feeling like playing Valhalla. So I downloaded it from the PS Plus thing, and I started it up. And it's fine. Like, I enjoyed it. Here's the thing though. Valhalla that came in as a game where I can just listen to something else while I'm playing it, when I needed a game that I didn't really want to play. So
yeah.
So like it came in at the right time for me to enjoy it, because I needed something where I don't really need to pay attention to the story, because I remember it because I last played it like fucking 3 months ago. And
yeah,
I can just like listen to other stuff. And for that purpose, it's good. I don't know if I tried like really paying attention to the story again. I don't know if I'd enjoy it nearly as much. But at the same time, it's one of those things where like or Valhalla is paced very weirdly, and in some ways badly, but mainly weirdly. Valhalla is cut up into episodes. Is the best way I can put it. There's small like hour-long episodes that make up the story, like 30 of them. And these episodes, what these episodes entail is you go to a new place, meet people. Oh no, Templar. And then you kill the Templar, and then you leave. Well, okay, that's actually only 4 of those episodes. Because they were like, hey, Assassin's is in the title. Maybe we should have something to do with the fucking Assassin Templar conflict again.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
But yeah, that's 4 of the episodes. The other like 15 are stuff like go to new place, meet people. Okay, Ivor, if you call on me, I will go and help you, but only if you do this one thing for me. And then you do the one thing, and then alright, cool. You shake hands and then go back to fucking Ravensthorpe. Like it's one of those things where like the game is like, funnily enough, Valhalla is kind of structured like Assassin's Creed 1. Where you do this,
no.
but instead of doing the same mission over and over again, there's a narrative structure built around every single episode that the game story doesn't really deviate from. It just has different stories in it. So everything starts with you arriving and then meeting the people in well, usually there's one that I can think of where that's not the case. But usually it's you arrive, speak with the person in charge, or the person wants to be the person in charge, and then they're like, okay, I'm gonna help you if you help me with this. You help them with that, and then you leave. But then one of them requires you to go trick-or-treating. Other one is during Christmas, and it's trying to stop trying to stop people from poisoning the people during Christmas. Other one is the main antagonist of the game hires you to kill his enemies. That part is funny. That episode is funny. Because like at that point, the Eivor and the antagonist know that they dislike each other. Regardless, they work together because whatever, it's for the greater good. It's this thing where like it goes more or less the way you'd expect, but also I didn't expect Ubisoft to do like I didn't expect Ubisoft to write something that's not just fetch quests anymore. I guess. Which I mean, it's fair
because high praise right there.
And I mean, there is an actual reason that I can point out that this difference is at all. Darby, I forget his full name, but Darby is a writer for Assassin's Creed who wrote the earlier parts and then quit. He wasn't here for Origins. I don't remember. I don't think he definitely wasn't there for Odyssey. He came back for this game, left again, and then is now back once more to write the new game Hexe or Hex. I forget how you're supposed to pronounce it, but they're making a game that might be a horror game in the Assassin's Creed universe set during the witch trials in Germany. And he's writing that now. But he also wrote Valhalla. And it's one of those things where like the writing is good. Well, comparatively, for the other games Ubisoft has been releasing in the past like 5 to 10 years, the writing is good. And the only big problem with it is that because this is a Ubisoft RPG game, they drag it out a whole lot because whatever. But like the thing that people raise up against the story is the thing that I complained about in Odyssey, or the inverse of it. So in Odyssey, to continue the story, you have to grind out levels by doing fetch quests for people, making the side quests mandatory.
Yeah.
Pink can comment on this because he's played Odyssey.
Yep.
And
thing is, most of my time playing Odyssey isn't even doing any quests, so yeah, I can't comment too much on that.
I mean, technically, if you kill enough people, then eventually you'll level up.
This is true, yeah.
But yeah,
This is the true.
in Valhalla, I've heard people complain that a lot of the episodes for the story feel like filler, and that they should be side quests. If you remember, one of my main complaints about Odyssey's side quests is that if you want to make side quests mandatory, make them part of the story. That's what they did for Valhalla, apparently.
Yeah.
But the big difference is that because it's part of the story, there's a different different like aesthetics to it, I guess. I don't know what to call it, but it's not just hey, go and hey fucking I'm forgetting what they called Cassandra and Alexios, whatever. Hey mercenary, go and pick up my ring from the shark infested water, and then I may let you bone my mother. Instead of that.
Sounds like a good exchange right there.
So instead of that, the mission is, hey, Raven Feeder, go and pick up my ring, and then I'll meet you here, and then we can talk about the conspiracy more, and then we'll advance the story little by little.
Yeah.
So it's a difference of you're not doing much different, but you're still doing different stuff, and also it's advancing the story. So if nothing else, at least progress is being made towards the end, usually.
Yeah.
Like, the only episode that I can think of that doesn't advance the story at all is the episode that they have during Halloween, where it's mostly just like some character development for one of the people living in your settlement, and then also Halloween. And I'm fine with that because that just develops the people who live in the town more. Like that just gives them more character. It's more world building.
Yeah.
It also doesn't hurt that the character development he gets is that the village blacksmith falls in love with a woman, and you have to go and watch or see their marriage, which is during Halloween for some reason, and or watch them marry, but whatever. The woman that he marries, I think is supposed to speak like Welsh or something, but like whenever she speaks, like the thing is, I understand some of the things she's saying, but whenever she speaks, the subtitles just say gibberish, and it's just such a fucking like weird ass character to have. But I like her. She's funny, like she's fun. Whatever. The weirdest thing that I experienced during my second playthrough of Valhalla now is while I was playing it, I was like, I'm kind of enjoying this. If fucking Code Red turns out this way, then I might actually like want to buy it because then I could find some enjoyment in it. And then the news came out that it's being made by the Odyssey team. So hey, jokes on me, I guess. It's one of those things where like I didn't mind Syndicate, which is the other game they worked on. I didn't mind Syndicate. You know how I feel about Odyssey. I don't know what to expect from them for Code Red because it's Japan. Like there's only so much you can like. I don't know how they work in the immortality and all that because, or like the no fall damage. Actually, no, the no fall damage. They can just be like fucking ninja magic, whatever. Who gives a fuck? But like the more fantastic elements, I don't know how they can work in because while there is a lot of like folklore and stuff to draw from, which they probably will, it's stuff like fucking Kaguya Hime. Like it's space moon rabbit queen, not people who literally cannot die. Or like it's child born from Peach. Grows up to be a real big warrior. That I tell you which story that is, but I forget.
I'm confused.
These are actual Japanese folklore tales that I'm talking about. There's also woman eats rice through the mouth in her hair. That's my favorite. I hope they adapt that somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see your closing thoughts on Valhalla. Well, one thing that I wanted to point out is one of the outfits you can get is Bazim's outfit, which Bazim is the protagonist of the new game W.
Yeah.
And Bazim's outfit has the hidden blade on the right side of the arm instead of the wrong side of the arm, which bugs me. But it's one of those things where in Valhalla, I'm fine with it being on the wrong side of the arm because when Eivor gets the hidden blade, they put it on the wrong side, and one of the assassins points out that's not the right side of the arm. You're supposed to put it under your arm, and then Bazim just goes, whatever, just let them be. They'll figure it out.
Heh.
Like it's the little I say a lot that I need like story fucking reasons for things that I don't like, and then I can be fine with them. But it really does feel like if you just do a not hand wavy way of just being like, okay, yes, this is not what you expected, but hey, this is why. Then it's a lot easier to swallow, But anyway, Bazim's outfit has the hidden blade on the right side of the arm, and they made they either made new animations for it or reused the ones from Origins. Either way, that outfit specifically has the right animations for the hidden blade, but none of the others in the game.
Nice.
Other weird part is that because Bazim is missing his finger because this was still Levantine times, or like actually before the Levantine times, but whatever. Since this was before Altair figured out that you don't need to sacrifice the finger because it's a fucking dumb ass aesthetic choice that people make for some reason. Bazim is missing a finger, and if you wear the outfit, so is Ivor. And it's like it's one of those things where like it's a very easy thing to do with the model, but it's not a thing that I would expect them to do anymore. Because I'm just used to Ubisoft. I'm just used to Ubisoft not giving a fuck about the small details. I mean, oh boy, speaking about the small details. So one of the big things about in Valhalla is that you wear a hood. You can put your hood up pretty much any time. Because of this, you can't have a shield on your back at all times, because it would look weird. The hood will cover it for some reason. I don't know it. I don't know how the physics work of it, but whatever. So, because of the hood mechanic, they made it so when you have the hood up, your weapons disappear. The shield that you may be wearing and whatever's on your back disappear. And there's this weird thing that they do with the legacy outfits, because you can get Ezio's robes, maybe Altair's robes, and Bayek's robes in the game. And when you wear those, if you put the hood up, your shield disappears. Nothing is covering it. It just disappears. It ceases existing.
Huh?
So, like, considering the game does that, I didn't expect them to also remember to remove one of Eivor's fingers to make it actually fit with Bazim's outfit.
Yeah.
But yeah. There was something I was going to bring up about Mirage for UW, because I saved something, but I forget what. But I might have even saved. I was just like, yeah.
Nowadays,
yeah.
It's like generally a lot of those games, like I'll pay super close attention to the hype cycle for Street Fighter or something, but I'll be honest, I'm not going to pay attention to the hype cycle for Mirage. It's just going to be when it comes out, are the reviews good? Okay, then maybe I'll get it. But I don't care about the hype cycle for that game.
Oh, I know. I'm just talking about like big things that would bug you or not. Like the modern day. I remember telling you that it doesn't have modern day, and that's true. Like, they don't pull you out of the game. There is an intro cutscene and an ending cutscene. This is what I was going to tell you. There's an intro cutscene and an ending cutscene that has modern day stuff, apparently. But that's all the modern day there is in the game.
Huh.
So yeah. And then let's see, what else did I do? I played Blasphemous, I think it's called. I don't remember. Shit. I'm gonna check, because it should still show up on my thing. Without opening up, without actually having to boot up the PlayStation. Yes, game library. Please. Yeah, Blasphemous. So, Blasphemous is a 2D Souls-like. As in, it's a Metroidvania. I shit you not. It's a game that sells itself as a 2D Souls-like. It's a Metroidvania. But anyway, it's a Souls-like in more ways than just, you know, the game design. There's obvious things that were inspired by Souls, by which I mean there's fucking literal Estus flasks in the game, and just the overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
If this is the game I'm thinking about, there's also a character design that is just straight up like taken from like one of the Souls games, and I don't remember which one.
Is the game you're thinking of? Does that game's protagonist wear a big pointy hat?
Yeah, you're definitely bringing up the character I'm thinking of. I just don't recall the character's name.
Oh no, I'm
He's a dude from Dark Souls 3, I think.
I'm literally talking about
the one I paid the least attention to.
I'm literally talking about the player character in Blasphemous.
Yeah, I remember seeing the design for him and thinking that's just a Dark Souls character.
But let me see if I can get a picture for you.
He definitely has a suspicious resemblance to the Bell-bearing hunter from Elden Ring, but I can't blame them for that one because Elden Ring actually came after.
Yeah. All right, sure. This art shall do. This is the cover art for the game. Never mind, I lied.
Why would you lie to me?
Let me get a different picture.
You have been deceived.
You fool!
Does this work? It does. There you go.
If he jumps from a tall building and spirals down, you know, he'll keep going well after he hits the ground.
Yep.
It's awesome.
But yeah,
that's definitely a close resemblance to the Bell-bearing hunter, but again, he came in Elden Ring, which came after, so I can't entirely blame him for that one.
Yeah. So this game, I'm conflicted on my opinion. The gameplay is more fun than Hollow Knight, just by virtue of this game has a fucking map. I don't have to run around the game for 30 minutes without a map, and then have to spend money to get a map. And then even then, the map is not functional. I have to pay more money to get the map to be functional. In this game, the map is like fucking Castlevania or Metroid. Which makes sense, it's a fucking Metroidvania. But you know.
Yeah.
I actually know where I've been without having to guess. Wow. What a revelation. Anyway. Like, that's one of the, like, I think that legitimately is one of the big reasons that I don't like Hollow Knight. Because, like, the gameplay is not for me, but whatever. I can like Metroidvanias anyway. And, like, it's not particularly hard. Like, I got through most bosses in that game first try. But, like, shit, dude, I need to know where I'm going and where I've been. Like, the game is designed, the game is literally designed to be a maze. I need to know where I've been. So anyway, yeah, Blasphemous. Yeah, the gameplay has been more fun to me than Hollow Knight, just because once again I know where I'm going. But also, the game has kicked me in the balls like 3 times already with its level design, and not because it was hard, but because it was asshole-ish. Like I'm like an hour into the game, and I'm in the poison swamp, and I can't leave. And there's nothing to decrease my poison. Like there's no outfits in the game, so I can't get higher poison resistance by getting a new set of gear, because there is no gear. I have to find the one item that may exist in the game that gives me poison resistance, or I just die to the poison. It's great.
I'll say that in Dark Souls, usually poison resistance is actually not that helpful. You are just supposed to brute force your way through it.
I don't think you can in this game. Or at least in the one spot that I tried, because you know, I've played my share of Souls, like, so whatever. I have a general idea of what I'm supposed to do, but the one time I actually tried brute forcing my way through the poison, it dealt too much damage in the 2 ticks that it had, and I just dropped that in the middle of the cloud. So I figured, hey, I probably need to come back with poison resistance or something. Like, there has to be a way to get around this. But yeah, another thing is this game, despite being a pixel art game, like it's a 16-bit game, so you know there's not much definition to the characters. Oh, but wait, the game has cutscenes. There's all definition in the cutscenes, and here's the big problem: the game really likes full frontal nudity.
Oh,
yeah,
huh?
Interesting choice.
And like there's only so many close-ups of the guy's sword where Jesus has his cock out that I can take. Or like this one character where like I just like they had this longest cutscene. There's a lot of lore, I'm assuming, that I had to skip because they kept zooming in on this one woman's tits, and it was bothering me.
Huh?
Like, you know, it's I don't you know, the artistic expression and all that, but like, and I get why they're doing it, because a lot of the game is like this, you know, if the title of the game didn't give it away, this game is very church bad, as far at least.
Very creative narrative for a Japanese style RPG, let me say.
Yeah, I've never. What do you mean, Castlevania? That's Castlevania's story. Or like
it actually isn't Castlevania's story, but okay.
I know. It's only the bad ones where that's the story.
It's a problem at a couple points, but for the most part, Castlevania church rather good, actually.
Yeah, I think the N64 games, in those, I think the church is bad. But you know, those games are bad too, so it doesn't matter.
Church bad. No, you bad.
Yeah. But like, you know, it's one of those things where, like, you know, in current year, like, can we not go for a more imaginative story than just church bad?
No.
All right.
Church bad is a story that is timeless, is the thing. Because people are always going to have issues with it, especially in a political time such as ours that we're in right now.
But I mean, the Pope listened to Megalovania. What more do you want?
More!
You should also listen to Papyrus's Dance or whatever the fuck. I don't know any of the other songs in the game.
Yeah.
Like, the funny part is, I've played through Undertale twice, and I still don't know any of the songs aside from Megalovania. But yeah, anyway. So, yeah, there is a lot more story to this, or like there's a lot more like immediately conveyed story through text and stuff like that than there is in Dark Souls. Except they also try to write it like Dark Souls, and it doesn't work because you're trying to tell me more, but also trying to tell me less. Like you're talking more about less, I guess is the best way to put it. And that combined with the church bad just makes it so like, okay, so the parts that you're telling me is the church is bad, and and then the rest is just like talking in circles around nothing. Interesting narrative, you know. So it's one of those things where like I want to like get through the game because it's not particularly hard. Like it's trying to be Dark Souls, but like you said, it's a Dark if you took a Dark Souls game and made it 2D, it would be Castlevania but easier. And yes, that's been my experience. Castlevania but easier.
Yeah.
Like the only the only real form of difficulty that I've had so far is that the game is very particular about its jumps. Namely, if you're jumping and you're trying to climb a ladder, you have to be very specific in when you press up so that you will actually grab the ladder. And stuff like that. Like, you know, it's not actually difficult stuff. It's just basic movement that somehow is scuffed. That's been giving me issues. Not anything that was supposed to be designed to be difficult. Or at least I'd assume that they wouldn't make basic movement difficult in the game. Maybe.
It should be assumed.
And another thing that I wanted to point out is Dark Souls is obviously a big influence for this game. What is one of the easiest moves that you can think of that deals a lot of damage, W, in Dark Souls?
Some big magic bullshit where you drop a moon on somebody.
Okay, what's a more direct one?
Hit him.
I'm thinking of drop attacks.
With a pile driver.
I wish you could do that. I wish you could do that in Dark Souls.
They have not yet been able to figure out how to make a grab character in Dark Souls on account of the enemies being way too fucking big most of the time.
They should have like a fucking a victory lap fucking game mode that you unlock when you go through like New Game Plus twice, where you get to unlock grabs to grab even the people who are like 5 times your size.
I mean, to be fair, there is Dragon's Dogma, which is getting a sequel soon, and that allows you to, when you grab small enemies, you can move them around and throw them. But when you grab big enemies, you just latch onto their sides.
Yeah.
Which, of course, leads to the famous thing that everybody loves about that game of, the dragon just landed, climb on its back, oh shit, it's flying away with me, stuck to it!
Yeah. But so, drop attacks, to me, is one of the easiest and most like damaging ways to attack someone. Because usually if they're set up for it, it's probably a death on their part.
Yeah.
So I unlocked drop attacks was my first unlock in Blasphemous because I was like, hey, it's a fucking 2D game. I will be able to do drop attacks more, or you know, they could have balanced this so it deals less damage, but whatever. It's drop attacks. You're still getting the drop on someone. Drop attacks, for whatever reason, are very finicky in whether or not they actually trigger. For you see, it's not as easy as jumping up and then pressing down and square like they say. No, you need to jump up, hold down and square, and then eventually, in your arc downwards, the character will decide, hey, I'm gonna do a drop attack. So, yeah, there's just these little things, but I don't know if they were on purpose or not. But, like, and it's not even a thing of, like, oh, the game is inspired by Dark Souls and whatever. Genuinely, it's just, like, astounding design decisions where like, they don't really make sense even within the confines of the game itself. Or this game itself, rather. But yeah, like, you know, once again, basic movement shouldn't feel like more of a challenge than your bosses, maybe. Like, I fought 2. Beat both of them first try. And, like, I beat the first boss without dodging. Because the game told me how to dodge, but the dodge is so fucking, like, esoteric with how it works. Because it's not a Dark Souls dodge, it's not a KOF dodge, it's a Mega Man dash. Or whatever, Mega Man slide. And the differences, like, the differences between moves where you can dodge between people's legs and the moves that you can't seem superfluous at best and not well explained. And stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
like one of the bosses has an attack where they're basically imagine Kusaragero. And one of their attacks is crouching down and swiping. You can jump over it, whatever. Before they crouch down, there's a big window where they're just standing there. So I was like, okay, I can probably, go between their legs and just hit them from the back while they're swiping. No. But otherwise, when they're not doing that attack, you can slip between their legs usually. Like it's these sorts of things where, like, if if you have enough of a budget to draw fucking booba, you have enough of a budget to make it a sprite that have like 3 more frames, so they're blocking their legs or something, probably, like they're holding their legs.
I don't know about that.
I refuse, sir.
And so it's
honestly, which will get more sales for the game? Gameplay consistency or booba?
Precisely.
Jesus' dick, according to the game.
Yes.
As one does.
Like I think legitimately, if you let the demo roll or whatever, I like how I'm talking about this game like it came out in fucking 80. The demo, yeah. If you let the introductory cutscene roll, I think the first scene that you get is fucking Jesus' dick.
Now that's a choice.
Yeah.
What about it?
It's just, oh fucking hell! I need to. It's just so out there or whatever. I forget the lyrics to fucking to Baby Got Back.
Yeah.
Let me check. Let me hit up my man. So I know what the lyrics are.
Out there is the correct lyric.
Yeah,
we do have the expert right here in this call.
Oh my God, Alex! Look at his dick. It is so big. He looks like one of those rap guys. But you don't understand. That's
all right then.
I can't believe it's just so round. It's like out there.
Anyways.
Anyway. Oh shit. But yeah, it does leave me in this thing where, like, I'm sort of enjoying this game, and oh yeah, I forgot to bring this up during Valhalla, but this applies there too. W, you broke me. Fucking playing through Bloodborne playing through Bloodborne fucking triggers something in my brain, and I now enjoy doing fucking nothing in video games. Walking in circles for the sake of walking in circles for the sake of walking in circles.
Yay! I've done it.
Like what have you done?
In Valhalla, before I did the first mission out of the tutorial, I conquered all of England and then did the first mission of the story.
Oh, very nice.
Because the game allows you to do that.
How will we possibly fight to take control of England? And then you're just sitting there on a throne, chests of gold surrounding you, big old crown on your head. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I'm somewhat enjoying Blasphemous, but at the same time, like I don't know if the things I raised against it are like not like I don't know if the things I raised against it are like ignorable enough or whatever. Like I don't know if I can ignore them long enough for me to actually finish the game. Because like
yeah,
you know the booba whatever, that's a cutscene. I can skip it. If there's gonna be more booba, I'm gonna be more pissed. But whatever. Like the big problems that I'm having with the game are like the basic controls, and that's not a good problem to have with the game. Because like there's interesting ideas aside from that. Oh, okay, no, it's interesting to play a Castlevania game, not titled Castlevania, and then it's also a lot easier. With the story of Churchman or Churchman, yes,
Churchman. That's the Crusades.
Yeah. that's the story of Assassin's Creed Mirage. That's not even Mirage. It's just Assassin's Creed 1. And like fucking Dante's Inferno and whatever else I don't remember. Churchman is the story of real life.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so I don't even know where I was going with the thought. I completely lost it because Church mad.
I would too.
So whatever. Yeah, but Blasphemous is a thing. It's a game. And oh yeah. I know a lot of games. This one included with the idea that I'm gonna stream them. Boy, am I fucking glad that I didn't. Like in this game specifically, because like shit, dude. It's one of those things where like I wouldn't get into trouble because for this is technically first party nudity, which is artistic, and therefore isn't a bannable offense. But like I don't like it, so you know.
Pink, this is where you say that you and Addie can't be friends anymore.
We're the yin and yang in this scenario.
Yeah. Alright, give me a second.
I beg your pardon?
Would you call me?
It just got real dry up in there, so I had to make piss.
I see.
So anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, did I play anything else? Not really. Well, then, whatever. This is a short topic. So yeah, my mom got into tattoos. Not recently, just in general. She got into tattoos. She likes getting them and whatever. And they both her and my sister, who are both tattooed, have been pushing for me to get one. I keep telling them no, I don't want one, because I really don't. but you play around with the idea sometimes, because like you're dumb and also like young, usually. And that's pretty like those two are pretty much the reasons I don't want one. Because like I have enough bad memories to remember me being young and dumb by. I don't need to make new ones. And like I don't need to make one that I'll look at when I'm like 40 and be like, fucking hell. But so sometimes you do think about that sort of stuff, and I was like, okay, so if they literally force me to get one, because they're like it's one of those things where like if they don't drop it for a couple of years, I will probably just go fuck it, whatever, I don't care anymore. And yeah, so I was like, well, what would I even get tattooed? Because like there's not many things that matter a lot to me, and like I don't really like the idea of just getting a tattoo because whatever, like I don't like the idea of getting like a dumb tattoo for the sake of getting a dumb tattoo, because that feels like a waste of time for everyone. Like it's a waste of my skin, it's a waste of money, it's a waste of the artist's time. Like it's just a waste all around. So yeah, one of the ideas that like I reached two conclusions. One of them is a dumb one that I know where I would put it, and the other one is one where I like it more, but well, I like the idea of it more, but I also don't know where I'd put it. Because like if I'm getting something, it will be very small. I don't want a big tattoo, or I wouldn't want a big tattoo, because whatever.
Yeah.
I'd say, hey, I don't like big tattoos, but no, that's a lie. It's just not for me, I guess. Oh, now that I think about it, I actually maybe the only one in my family who's not tattooed, because my dad also my dad was the first one to get tattoos. Anyway, so I was like, well, whatever. There's tattoos are good in some cases because people, if you die, your corpse can be identified by the tattoos.
This is true.
Like, these are the things that I think about. If you get lost and die in a ditch or something, then people then it's easier to let your loved ones know because you're the only asshole who would be dumb enough to have this shit tattooed on them. And with that idea, I was like, okay, so how can I summarize myself? And this is the best I came up with. I don't know if I like how it looks, but whatever. I do I think the paw print turned out good. I don't know any about any of the rest, but that like for the form, that's fine. What do you all think?
I think tattoos are fucking stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, personally, I myself would never get a tattoo, but that's a pretty neat design there.
My other one, the one that's dumb, and I know where I'd put it, is that like if I really fucking must, and whatever, then I might as well go all out with it, and just I was like, well, I might as well fucking design a fucking hidden blade, because that would be an interesting piece of art,
Yeah.
And then I know where I'd put that because traditionally hidden blades, your first ones anyway, would be put on the left wrist, so your sword arm would be free. Like that was a no brainer when it comes to placement. I still don't want it, but Well, at least with that one, it's like okay, so I would literally just need to draw it if I wanted it, and then just have it be done. But yeah, like it's like tattoos. I can understand tattoos when they mean something to the person, but like there's many ways for me to get the same meaning that I would get out of a tattoo. I don't. It feels like I didn't end that sentence, but I did. But yeah, like there's many ways for me to get the same like it's one of those things where like I've thought about what if, for example, we meet, or say like the three of us meet, and like if that happens, then I would want to bring something over there and sign it, not because I'm like, hey, you can sell this later for big money, because I'm gonna be a dictator. But like to me that serves the same purpose as the tattoos, where like it's a memorabilia, it's a memory in itself, because it's not just, hey, I show up and then whatever and then we can forget about it. It's, hey, I left this thing at you, and maybe that something means something to me or whatever. And also I wrote on it because whatever, it's easier to remember that I fucking gave it to you than
Yeah.
So basically what I'm saying is that when I ship myself out to America, I'm giving both of you tattoos of my face.
I will put it on my ass. It will be perfect.
Your hole can be my mouth. So yeah. What else was I going to bring up? I forget. Well, this is something that I think I told Pink, but I didn't tell W. Because I told this to Pink either before or after, I forget, we were recording Plants vs. Zombies. But to whatever. I nearly went into my usual thing of try to talk around something, because we need runtime. Like I don't know why I fucking I don't know why I speak the same way.
We
I
don't
would.
need the runtime,
No, I-
though. We
I-
can just
I know.
upload a 30-minute podcast.
I know that's what that's what I was going to say. I don't know why I treat speaking on the podcast or something like that like if I were writing an essay. Like, it needs to be a complete picture, fucking like well put together, which my speeches on the podcast usually aren't. But whatever, like, you need to keep people asking, what did the writer think, or what did the writer mean by making the shapes blue?
Yeah.
But whatever. So yeah, it seems like my mom's finally accepted that I may be somewhat gay, at least. Somewhat accepted, not completely, but it's still it's still a thing of she still wants me to get together with a girl who's like manly or boyish, because then I can have children. But she seems to have accepted it at least somewhat,
Yeah.
And the reason I'm bringing this up, because that was like, her reaction was amusing to me, is the discussion came up again, and whatever. This time, I just straight up went fuck it, whatever, and just showed her a picture of Danzaburo, and just went, "This is the guy I like." And she actually, like, because like, I expected her to, like, either not believe me or think I'm making a joke or whatever the fuck, like, I know she was like, "Yeah, I get it," and then she started listing off the things that the reasons that I like Danzaburo. Like the aesthetic reasons that I fucking I find him cute. And I like, out of all of that discussion, I appreciated that the most, because it was weird that that she got it. But yeah, I think that's it. But that's been my week.
Excellent.
Okay.
W?
He didn't have a week.
Yeah. I didn't really. New episode She-Hulk. It's all right. Other than that, same old, really. There's a few games I've put like 10 minutes into, but really it isn't worth talking about. They're all games that I've talked about before, and if I do finish them, I'll talk about them at that time. But at the end of the day, I don't want to just waste everybody's time talking about random bullshit they don't care about. So I'm just going to say, yeah, that's my week.
All right.
I don't remember if anything happened during the week that we might want to discuss. Probably not, honestly. If I have to answer, then probably not.
Not really. I mean, GTA got leaked, but that was inevitable.
Yeah, who cares about GTA?
That won't be coming out for another 8 years. We'll cover it then. Yeah. I think that's it. I did send over, yes, I believe I actually, did I send over the big leak for Sonic? I mean, I talked about it last week, but whatever. There it is. There he is. Yeah.
The literal big leak.
Yeah. Well, TGS happened. More Yakuza.
Yes.
More Yuga Gotoku. It's not Yakuza anymore.
Oh.
But yeah, you thought Kiryu was out, and they pulled him back in 3 times, in fact.
Boy, did they.
Yeah. And Pink, this is other notification. Play Yakuza. Uh, okay, this is something that I wanted to bring up. I don't think this will be a long topic. I just wanted to bring up because it's fucking weird.
We don't have to delay this. We can just
No,
end the
I
podcast.
know. I know. I just think it would. I just thought it would be funny to bring this up, and I forgot about it for the past 2 weeks. The guy who handles the Digimon games put out a list of games that he thought about making, or that he's tried pitching to Bamco. Bless you.
Bless you.
To make us official Digimon games. One of them is I'll just read that. Doki Doki Digimon Academy, a romantic adventure where you can flirt with Digimon. This is a bad idea.
This is a bad idea.
Like either they go with the fucking, you know, like genuinely enough of a humanoid cast to just make a normal romantic visual novel, which, you know, whatever. But then people will probably not buy it as much because they only like I've only seen people thirst after fucking Renamon, pretty much. And then if they include those types of characters as well, then people will flip their shit. And depending on which one, justifiably so. So basically, this is a bad idea. Don't do it. Like it's funny to say that someone who the fucking the creative director of the entire series pitched this idea, but you know, don't. Like, I understand why Bemco said no.
Yeah.
So yeah. That is it then, I believe.
All right.
Hey.
Think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Break
Me
it down.
neither. Break it down.
I really wanted you to emulate like noises of you doing breakdancing in the background.
I like to, but I've got a cat on top of me.
Ah.
Possible at the moment.
All right.
Meow.
Your cat go flying in the background.
Yeah.
And then we get cancelled.